I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Like you guys, oh, Joey Ortiz, yes! He goes deep to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead. Ground ball left side, base hit. Bowers is going to score on it, and the Brewers will have the lead. Finally placed by Sal Frelick. Ground ball fair inside the bag. It takes a shot down towards the corner. Here comes Hamilton. No throw. Two-run double by Terang. Runner goes, Merrill, ground ball, second base. Terang on 2 hops. Ball game over. 5 straight wins for the Brewers. 6 for the final. They take the opener of the series with the Padres.
Would you rather have Jeff Levering be surprised that you're hitting a home run or just really, really super happy?
Or have Vinny Rottino step all over it while asking Matt Arnold a question.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. What a gritty win for the Crew last night. Audio courtesy of Brewers TV. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Last night it happened, Josh. My neighborhood got together. When I say neighborhood, I mean one other buddy.
Oh.
But the text went out to the crew that sat in the backyard of Andy's all season last year and watched pitch by pitch, game by game. And last night, Gift came over to my garage, and it felt like last year. I can't wait to get to the Brewers part of the recap this morning. But first, Packers, as we play catch-up.
Packers.
A couple two-treat things yesterday from our green and gold. Number one, based on leaks, it appears that the Packers are going to stay stateside for the 2026 NFL season. The rest of the schedule will be released, finger quote, tomorrow or throughout the day, today and tomorrow.
Right.
Let's be real. But clearly we are learning a thing or two in regard to the schedule. So based on how other people's schedule is shaken out and who appears to be playing in the games overseas, the Packers just are fresh out of chances to be in any of those games.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm fine with the Packers not having an international game.
You don't like them?
I just feel like there's not. What's our record overseas? I don't feel like it's great.
I mean,
we lost to Philly. We lost when we were in
2?
Brazil, right?
Yeah,
and then we lost
to Philly.
To who is it? We played in London. We lost to them too.
Yeah.
So, I'm just I don't associate international Packers games with positive memories. So I'm not saying I would have hated if it happened, but I'm good with it not happening.
We just need CC Sabathia to put on a Packers jersey the morning of the game.
Boom.
We'll win.
There you go.
Goody filled out the roster. The Packers, per Tom Pelissero, claimed DBMJ Devonshire off waivers from Buffalo and tight end Luke Leche off waivers from Houston. So that fills out the Packers training camp roster. Not to say that they can't make a move before then, but that's the number. They're at the number 91 that they can have going into camp. So that's good. We do know the Packers home and away teams this year. We just are starting to find out when and where, but not really. As in, like, not a single game so far has been completely leaked. Like, oh, yep, this is guaranteed when this is going to happen. It's looking like opening day will be noon or 3:25 because the Packers aren't playing Thursday night. They aren't playing Sunday night. They aren't playing Monday night.
Sure. So process of elimination.
Yeah. Yep. Noon and 3:25. So we shall see. But one of those games will be against the New England Patriots, and that is where Romeo Doubs landed. Does he have this game scheduled, circled on his calendar against the Pack?
Nah, man. I mean, Green Bay took care of me. it wouldn't be a reason for me to have that type of pressure against them. Because, again, my career started there. They taught me, the foundation of football, how football works, situational football, just understanding complementary football, how teams can be like just the overall game in general. They showed me the ropes in that area. I do know that we play them this year, but it's not even like that. So
we also taught you how not to no-show to work.
I mean,
as in, like, if you make decisions like that, there will be consequences.
Sure. Yeah. I did kind of, that answer from Romeo Dazos got to make you feel good, right? Knowing that, aren't you just used to the classic, oh yeah, like they didn't sign me, they didn't keep me, whatever, like just the athlete ego mentality that we're so used to. Hearing something different is a nice change of pace.
We're going to talk about that in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump this morning when it doesn't go that way. And there's a bit of a breakup between our favorite players and our favorite teams. And why do we feel a certain way based on XYZ player and not ABC? In this case, Romeo Dobbs didn't leave disgruntled. He knew that there was either going to be a spot that paid him on this roster or there wasn't. And that's it. It was that simple. On to the Brewers. A gritty win by the Crews, 6-4. Brewers over the Padres. A few things of note as we start. Number one, I hope Manny Machado gets booed forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah, that's fun.
It has been some time since he kicked Jesus Aguilar in the ankle in a Dodgers uniform, and people still remember. This is one of those things that we need to teach our kids. Like, hey, kids, sit down once. This guy, let me tell you a story. So that if you don't recall, you at least join in on the boo parade.
Yeah, you definitely, if you're going to one of these games and you need to give your kids a heads up on why everyone's going to be booing a player.
Yeah, there's a few things that are required right now in regards to the Padres being in Milwaukee.
Dad, why is everyone booing that man?
Sit down, son.
Well, he's a terrible person. Oh,
he's a terrible person. He made a bad decision that we'll never forget. We forgive him. Ish.
I don't know if that's true either.
There was a moment in the fourth inning. The Brewers were down 2-1. I'm sitting in my garage with Ben Giffen, my neighbor, one of the crew, the boys. And I had that feeling, Josh, for the first time this year that I had pretty much all season last year. And it was this, okay, I believe now. I actually believe that no matter what, we're going to win this game. Now, granted, Sal Frelick was up with one out and the bases were loaded, but there was that moment where I'm like, this could go one of two ways. We could strand 3 runners and that would suck. And here we go again. Or remember that feeling last year that at any point, no matter the score, we're like, we can definitely come back and win this. So I had that feeling during that moment last night. And then this happened.
Ground ball left side, base hit. Bowers is going to score on it, and the Brewers will have the lead. Finally placed by Sal Frelick.
Boom.
That's a good sign.
And that's also exactly what we were used to last year. That's how they won so many games, was they took advantage of the small opportunities that were small ball opportunities that were put in front of them, right? It was that confidence of, you don't want to let the Brewers get the bases loaded because they're going to find a way to knock in those runs. Start of the season, the error for the margin for error was super small, and we weren't seeing those runs batted in the way that we did last night. That was absolutely a nice change of pace.
That was a good start to a little 3-bat sequence there. Frelick does what he does, and then up comes Hamilton, and we've been the beneficiary of some interesting choices by opposing pitchers. This was one of them.
Squaring to bunt, lays it down. Waldron has it, wants to go to third. It's going to be too late to get Hamilton. Speed kills again.
Same thing happened against the Yankees, where they made a decision to look to third first for some reason. I understand, get the lead runner, but still also getting out in that situation.
Right, but that's the thing. By the time that, like, you're taught, get the lead runner. All right, plays at third. Okay, we got one out. Plays at third. By the time you look there, realize not going to be able to get him, and then you turn to go to first. Now it's too late. it's almost like the speed, to Jeff Levering's point of saying speed kills again. The second that they decide to stay with what you've been taught your entire life and get the lead runner, now it's too late. You literally have to either commit to just going to first from the beginning, or there's a chance you're going to miss it altogether.
And Hamilton's stupid fast, so that helps.
Sure does.
The bases are still loaded. There's only one out. We'd already seen a home run by Joey Ortiz in the game, which pause. Cool. That was great.
That was amazing.
Joey was the scream in the garage when he hit one over the wall earlier in the game. You'll hear that again in the most electrifying sound of the day. But he came up with the bases loaded in the fourth, and you could tell he was seeing the ball because he was so close.
Here's Ortiz. Fly ball! Center field, it is caught just on the warning track almost from Ortiz. It's a sac fly to make it 4-2.
I thought it was a bomb off the bat. Just got underneath it. Joey Ortiz, that's a sinker. Dead center of the plate. He squares it up. Just got underneath it, though, but delivers home a sac fly. And Joey Ortiz producing in this one. A couple of ribbies for him.
2 for 3 with 2 hits. 2 RBI, 1 home run, no strikeouts, no walks, and a run scored for Joey Ortiz.
I just want to play the beginning of this again because you can tell
it's awesome.
that Levering was he's so bad. He wanted it so bad for Joey O.
Here's Ortiz. Fly ball!
Deep right. Like he's right. Like he wants to keep going. He wants it so bad. And then
center field.
That would have been one of the UK get up, get out of here caught.
I mean, can you imagine though if that goes out? Oh, incredible.
His night ends completely soaked by Gatorade. I was surprised it didn't anyway.
True.
He started the night batting 181. When he came up to bat in that sequence right there, he was batting 200. So a good night for Joey.
Great night. Go Joey O.
And he even got the post-game interview. Look at us winning, gritty game, and Joey Ortiz is talking to Sophia Minnaert.
Yeah, and you can, if you're wondering why that all happened, you can thank Christian Yelich. Don't ask me how. Just the fact that he was back and in the lineup, that's all it took. Somehow having those guys in the lineup changes everything, including Joey O's swing at the plate.
Unfortunately, he was the only guy on the entire roster that didn't get a hit last night.
Didn't matter.
Don't care.
He was there, and I'm saying, what happened? What was the difference between Joey O the rest of the season and Joey O tonight? Christian Yelich, Jackson Chourio, Andrew Vaughn, all back and healthy. That's the difference.
So let's take a look at that real quick. The band is all but back together. 2 things come to mind. Number 1, Rengifo and Hamilton had been the plan at third base. We just not sure based on who and game situation. Other than that lineup last night was the lineup that we hoped and prayed we'd start the season with.
Mm-hmm.
The only missing piece at the moment is Jared Koenig.
Well, and now Lockridge.
Well, sure, but at the end of the day, like from a full roster that we would look at and go, if we went into this game with that lineup and these people in the pen, we're pretty together.
Yep.
Granted, we'll miss Lockridge's speed here for a little bit and him being able to fill in the outfield. We still have Blake Perkins up, I believe, or did he get sent down for Yelly? I didn't see that. Who got sent down for Yelly? Did you see that?
I didn't see. I know Tyler Black. Something happened with Tyler Black.
Maybe that was it. Maybe he got sent down when they put Yelly back from the IL. Nonetheless, it's that close. So hopefully Jared Koenig, who has some good sign that he's going to be back soon, is the icing on the cake, and then we'll wait for Lockridge. A good night for the crew. Any worries out of the pen there with Trevor McGill giving up a run?
No, because again, this is what we talked with Tim Allen about a couple weeks ago. Of are we just being hard on the bullpen because they're not having the ability to give up a run once in a while? When you have that room and you can give it up, then it doesn't matter. Also, did you see that pitch from Uribe? That 101 sinker?
that fell out of the planet.
God.
It was ridiculous.
What was that?
No slow motion
nuts.
replay will ever give that justice. It was a live, like, what just happened? And the batter looks stupid.
Well, how could you not? That was nuts.
What do you think of Chad Patrick out of the pen?
I'm good with it.
I am too.
Yeah. I'm
We still
absolutely
need
good
a
with
fifth starter as Woody continues to battle back, but
but he's battling back, right? So that's the thing. It's not like we're in a position to where we have 4 for the foreseeable future. It's a temporary. We're looking for duct tape, right? We continue to look for duct tape to just hold it together for the time being.
also probably for the first time since 2004, DL Hall or Aaron Ashby didn't pitch in the game last night.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy.
Maybe they could use a rest. Do the Brewers play tonight, Josh?
No clue. Don't ask me. I have no idea.
You're on the way out. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they play tonight.
Oh,
Padres.
they do. Okay.
Game 2.
I thought maybe they had another off day. I don't know.
We joked off air that Josh ran a promo yesterday that said we were going to recap the Brewers game, and there was no Brewers game. And we both thought there was. Today, there's definitely a Brewers game. Promo didn't say anything about a Brewers game, just that we're going to have a Would You Rather Wednesday and Doug Gottlieb. Now,
both of those are true.
well,
right?
What do you think is more likely? Doug Gottlieb playing or coming and or the Brewers playing? Like, I know we have a roof, but it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. I have faith in Doug. Doug, don't let me down today, please.
Let us pray. All right, on to the Badgers. Speaking of praying.
Badgers.
So the Badgers hired a firm to help them search for the next athletic director. There are some names on here. When we saw the list come out yesterday, we're like, oh, first off, didn't know that person was a UW alum, so that's cool. And number 2, okay. Oh.
Is it
inside joke?
Is it bad that my first thought with this when I read this was, where are they getting the money to hire that firm? That nil money? That nil money to hire that firm?
Well, that's normal. You always hire a firm.
Do you?
Yeah. In a search, UWGB hired a firm. So,
okay.
Pretty sure Madison's going to hire a firm. Yeah. Look at the names on the list, though. Chris Ballard, GM of the Indianapolis Colts, 1993 UW alum, former Badger football player. So we got a guy that's used to paying people lots of money to play football. So that's good. We have Lauren Bishop. She's the committee chair, the associate professor, and she's from the Sandra Rosenbaum School of Social Work, UW faculty athletics representative to the Big Ten and NCAA. There's more names that stick out, like Michael Finley, Dallas Mavericks, 2014 UW alum, former Badgers men's basketball player, amongst others. There is not anybody on this list that has any type of background in college athletics. Is that good or is that bad? In terms of running college athletics.
Right. I personally don't think it matters. I think this is a situation where you need someone who's better at the numbers, and I don't need them to have been an athlete themselves, because they're a director of athletics. They're not on the field. They're not also coaching the athletics. So I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
And let's be real, college athletics in comparison to when these people were playing and or involved,
night and day.
Night and day different. Yeah.
Yep. Very true.
Hey, at least there's news.
Yeah, there's something. It's a
Step
start.
in the right direction.
It's a start.
There's some news with the Bucks too.
Bucks.
Jimmy O from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel kind of pieced it together for us and put out an article yesterday late afternoon. The NBA ultimately decided and concluded its investigation. There will be no further action taken against the Milwaukee Bucks for the way they handled the Giannis injury status there towards the end of the season. Now, a little fascinating here because it was very much a he said, she said situation. But for the Bucks to not have anything come down on them from the NBA standpoint, Josh, does that lead us to believe that the Bucks were in the wrong still, or was Giannis in the wrong on this?
I think that it more than anything just kind of shows that it was something that was probably, like everything else, has been blown out of proportion. It was, if anything, I think maybe it does go a little bit more on Giannis in this case, just because I don't think there would have been as much fire if he wouldn't have had smoke. If, like he said at the end of the season, right? I could have probably shut down the rumors a little bit faster. I think if he does, I don't think anyone's reading into this decision as much as they were. I think it really came down to that partially of, well, hey, Giannis is already he's been wishy-washy and now this, to where if that shut down, maybe this story becomes a nothing burger.
The Bucks had protocol, and Giannis was not following the protocol to come back. Now, that doesn't mean he wasn't ready, and that's ultimately what the investigation was. It was that Giannis wasn't doing the things that the Bucks were requiring him to do in order to get back on the playing surface. I'm going to ask your odds, I think, every day. What do you think the odds are today that Giannis is staying? I just think he's gone, man. I don't know.
I think it's low. I still think it's at 30%, which I don't like, but that's where I'm at right now.
I'll be curious in the coming weeks, Josh, to understand where you stand on why the Bucks should build around Giannis again and have him sign the Supermax, and why that maybe isn't a good decision. But you don't got to worry about that, because anything else?
Oh.
Anything else?
Josh is off to a cult conference.
Well, first of all, I always worry about that. So regardless of where I am, that's going to be a concern. But yeah, I'm super excited. It's been a while since it's been a Roosevelt shirt nerd convention, just only that. So I'm going to be hanging out with some of the crew, looking forward to that. And I'm not the only person that has things to look forward to. It's a good time for everybody, right? It's the start
quadfecta
of the quadfecta for you
today. Shine down tonight, which means I'm going to be sleepy tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
The quadfecta. If you're just tuning in, myself and Jason from the 920 have this thing called the trifecta. And my wife has been along for the ride on a number of these over the years. It's 3 days in a row of events: concert, sporting event, concert, or concert, or whatever the case may be. I believe this is the first time in my career that I have a quadfecta. Shine down tonight, Brewers tomorrow, Luke Combs on Friday, Luke Combs on Saturday. Off Monday. Let's get out of the way. I am taking a vacation day on Monday.
Can we take a prop bet on how many Diet Sprites you have tonight at the Shinedown concert? Because I know you're not drinking. Middle of the week, you ain't drinking.
I'm not drinking tonight. No.
Yeah. So the Diet Sprite count. Where's the line? 3? Is the line 3?
Oh man. I'm probably the reason I chose Diet Sprite the other night was because I'm old and didn't want caffeine later in the evening. Okay, that's a thing now. I don't think I'm going to have any Diet Sprites. I will not have a beer tonight. Listen, my buddy Benjamin put it best the other day. The valve is open or it's not. That's it. It's that simple. I see zero value in having a beer. What it does to my body is not worth it. On the flip side, on Friday and Saturday, I will responsibly have more than one Miller Lite. So if you see me and walk up to me with a Diet Sprite, I will pour it on your head and then make you buy me a beer. You're right, I won't.
You won't do that.
I don't want to go to jail.
No.
Anything else? Literally anything else?
Just that I have questions coming up next. We want to answer your questions as well. Bob in Minneapolis, actually, you might not realize that, but he actually had an interesting question through the negativity that he usually brings to start things off in the morning. I'm looking forward to getting to that.
Bob, we're fascinated by you, man. It is a very much a loving relationship. We just scratch our head and go, we're not sure which Bob we're going to get today. Most days, Bob's a little angry.
Yeah, but he's got me thinking this morning.
We'll answer his question and yours and ours. A question of, did anyone keep any of their jerseys from when they were a kid? Like whether as a fan or a player, do you have a practice jersey or what are your game uniforms? 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Did you keep it? And why? We'll answer those questions and others when we get back live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Joey.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question. Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious. Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. And a segment where we answer your questions. And we hope you answer ours. Our question this morning.
Yep.
Did you hang on to one of your jerseys from your childhood? Whether it was a jersey that you were a fan of, a jersey that you wore in high school, maybe a college jersey, maybe a Little League jersey, or maybe it's something else. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. You saw something from Bob where, hey, hold on, that's a legit question. And you're welcome, Bob. Bob texted us and goes, hey, guys, appreciate you. Thanks for not blocking me.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Bob.
What did you see?
Bob asked, what player are the Brewers going to pick up at the trade deadline to make sure they win a World Series? Whew. And I thought, oh, you know what? That's super interesting. We just got done talking about CC Sabathia, his time, that pickup, which obviously the best rental maybe ever. Is there a better rental in the history of baseball for that period of time? Well, there might not have been. But all right. I hadn't thought about it from this team's perspective. You definitely have to go pitcher, right? Starting pitcher?
Starting pitcher, yes. Because exactly what happened last night. Chad Patrick can start. We've seen that, and he's had good starts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very good out of the bullpen. So if we had an option of a better starting pitcher than Chad Patrick in this scenario right now, or at least another one that we could have in the rotation, think about that. Sproat looks pretty good right now. I mean, knock on all the wood with all these, but Sproat looks pretty good. Obviously, we're going to get Woody back at some point. The Miz is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Harrison has looked unbelievable. Logan Henderson, Chad Patrick. Like, we have a list there of starting pitchers, and there's quite a bit of space, Josh, I think you would agree, between Miz and Woody in his prime and Brandon Sproat.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Here's the other thing, too. My brain keeps wanting to go bat just based on the last 3 to 5 years of Brewers baseball of give me another bat. Give me a big bat. But I don't know where they would go right now. So it's absolutely, it's got to be starting pitching and figuring out who doesn't get to be a starting pitcher. Should we have that, that ability to be able to make that decision? I just don't know. I feel like it's easier to get a bat at the trade deadline than it is a starting pitcher. I also don't know if this Brewers team, like that was the Doug Melvin days, during that CC Sabathia when they made that trade. That was dealing Doug Melvin. I don't know that Matt Arnold is the type of guy to sell some of the farm to make that push, regardless of where the Brewers are in the season.
It really depends on how their conversations are going with Bryce Terang, because we have more than enough infielders.
Sure. So you're thinking if they're going to re-sign Bryce, then we see some of these guys that we've been paying attention to since the end of last season in the farm system, and we start shipping them off.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
I wonder, too, if it's the guys at that point or if it's guys that are not even there, names we don't know, more prospects that are going to be at that point coming up.
Andrew Fisher, right?
Right. I mean, there's one guy that's off limits, right? And that's Madej.
I would say the only guy off limits is probably Cooper Pratt, since we were able to lock him up.
I disagree. I think the fact that we did lock him up makes him, you know it now. Like another team could buy that contract.
How many other clubs, though, do what we do and pay their minor leaguers the way the Brewers have proven to have some sort of process to go, we got to keep you, Andrew, we got to keep you.
Well, not a lot of teams that aren't also in a small market, mentality. They don't have to worry about that.
If you were going to put one person in a position with a big bat, though, I think there's a fairly glaring opportunity to replace Rengifo at third. When David Hamilton's not playing at third based on speed and matchup, it's kind of the Mike Moustakas opportunity, I think.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, too. I just think if you only get one person at the trade deadline, you're still going pitching.
I think so, too. Hey, Bob, look at you. Good question.
Yeah.
You know what?
Go, Bob.
Here's another one for Bob. Is there a bowling pattern Roosevelt shirt, Bob? If there's not, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, there is. It's from the Big Lebowski collection. You ever seen Big Lebowski?
I have.
What?
Thank you. Woo-hoo. Yeah.
What?
I can't wait to tell Doug Gottlieb I watched Dazed and Confused.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait for you to either. And for him to go, why? That wasn't on the list.
Listen, I talked to somebody yesterday that said it was their most favorite movie of all time.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
It's a cult following. You know anything about that? Didn't think so. Does regular Sprite have caffeine? Good morning, Trevor's Troll. How are you? Good to see you. All right, let's get to the question at hand. Do you have any jersey from your childhood? Ones that you grew up wearing that you were a fan of? Like, did you hang on to your Jordan jersey like we talked yesterday? Or do you have a jersey, a practice jersey, or something that you played in? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Josh, what do you still have? You mentioned that you think you have a jersey or two.
Yeah, I do. So I have the Jordan jersey, a Ray Allen jersey, and then I also have my 8th grade basketball jersey.
Oh.
Yep. Mom
that's cool.
Saved that. Apparently, in 8th grade, they decided to get ones that we could keep. I don't know. We forked out the extra money to get the names on them. And so it wasn't ones where you just had to return it at the end of the season.
The 262, I still have my Johnson Creek Blue Jays football practice jersey from 1989. Dude, let's go.
Yeah, good
Do
for
you
you.
have Twitter? Take a picture of that thing and tweet us, would you? At Trevor Thomas IW, at On Air Josh, at Inside Wiss Sports, at WI Sports Radio. We could go on. You have a Campbell Houston Oilers jersey from the 801. It's Kevin in Utah. Still have my old BMX jersey as well, but I also still have my first NFL jersey I bought when I was 12 years old, the original baby blue Earl Campbell Houston Oilers jersey. Wow.
What about you? Got any jerseys left?
Oh, man, I admitted yesterday that I stupidly got rid of all of the, I don't know why or where they went. I hope somewhere they're in a box that I don't know about, and I'll find them someday, but I don't have any of my old Jordan jerseys. That really sucks. I do have my college practice jersey.
Okay.
My college basketball practice jersey. I'm not sure why I decided to keep that, but I still have that. And then I also have, I don't know if this qualifies, but my senior year of high school, my junior and senior year, but I kept the t-shirt from my senior year of high school when we played at the Bradley Center. So we had those.
Nice.
Back then there was those package deals where the athletic director at your high school could line up a game against another high school, and it came along with you needing to buy XYZ number of tickets to go to the Bucks game that night.
It was a way to sell Bucks tickets. It's what it was.
Group outing.
Yep, we
Dude,
had those.
it worked. It worked. It was an unbelievable experience to play on the Bucks floor. I did it twice.
Nice.
I don't know what's in that floor, but I could jump. I mean, adrenaline probably is in that floor. I could jump out of the gym.
I think this is an interesting question too, because as I was looking at these last night, I'm going, why did I hold on to these? Like, I'm not passing them down to one of my kids. They're not going to care. I don't have them on display. It's not something like they're literally in a tote stored away. And that's their home forever until I either get rid of them or I die. And then someone else gets rid of them. Like, of all the things that I've held on to, I was looking at these and I was like, I don't know why, like what my plan is with these in any way, shape, or form.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Probably someday, Josh, for your kids to go through your stuff when you're gone and go, oh, look what Dad saved, and then pitch it.
So for 4 seconds, for 4 seconds of reminiscing. Got it. Oh, boy.
When we come back, the most electrifying sound of the day is obvious. Joey Ortiz hit a home run in the Brewers game last night to help the Brewers get the victory against the Padres 6-4. You are not dreaming. That's real news. You will hear the audio next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
It's time for
The most electrifying.
Sound of the Day
The most electrifying.
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Oh, Joey! Joey Ortiz, yes! He goes deep to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead. He had his first extra base hit against the Yankees, and now Bernie hits the slide on his first homer. That has got to feel so good for Joey Ortiz.
Joey Ortiz's first home run in 10 months is the most electrifying sound of the day, call courtesy of Jeff Levering and Brewers TV. And it's brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Trevor, I'm watching that back specifically for our job, right? Like, it wasn't a huge deal in the moment when you're watching on TV. But when you're looking at the highlight, and just the highlight, of course it happens as they're taking the Matt Arnold interview. They're probably like, yeah, go with the bottom of the third. It'll be like 7, 8, 9. You know, nothing's going to happen.
Okay, yeah.
It'll be fine. We can ask questions during Ortiz's at-bat. Boom! He hits the home run. Vinny's asking Matt Arnold a question. Jeff's got to hop in to make the call. I was just like, this is awesome. Of course, this is how Joey Ortiz's home run call would be.
And the one that wasn't a home run was almost just as good. Jeff Levering later in the game really tried to will that one over the fence for Joey, but nonetheless, good to see him. He looked on the ball last night, Josh.
He did.
A confident swing.
Okay, was that a fluke or did something happen? Some is a fluke, right? Like, that's not like something would have came out.
You mean
out,
like
right?
Did he change his stance or swing?
Right, or
No,
like
they were talking during the game that he actually is leaning back on his back leg more and trying to get behind the ball. He definitely made some changes.
When did those changes start? I'm trying to find the point in his at-bats throughout the season where I can go, oh, okay, because right now I didn't see nothing change until yesterday. And so I didn't just know if he was on one or if he found something. Because with baseball players, it does seem like that's all it takes is like the smallest change to their approach, and it can change everything for them.
Giff and I talked about that last night when Trevor McGill had a baseball in his hand and chose to get a different one. What was it? I don't like that pen. That's the only thing I can compare it to.
Right. Well, I mean, if you think about the amount of baseballs that Trevor McGill's held in his life. But to your
point about the batting stance, it takes one small tweak.
Right.
That we would never even notice.
Yeah. I wonder if sometimes they do that just to give themselves like an extra second. Right? Like, I don't know. Like, can you really tell like that quickly that this ball's not going to work? Maybe.
I have no clue how that works.
Yeah.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. We're talking about, do you have a jersey from your childhood? One that you wore in high school, grade school, college? Or do you have one that you wore as a fan, meaning it was a Big Dog jersey from when you were young?
Sure. Matt in Pewaukee texts in and says, from my youth, I still have a Tim Brown Raiders jersey, a Penny Hardaway Magic jersey, the blue alternate, and Larry Johnson Hornets jersey, purple alternate, all still fit, but the basketball jerseys are snug.
Listen, Matt, nobody likes a bragger.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's even bragging. Like, depending on what age of your youth, like.
Is Matt 17?
Right. Like, there's it, even if it fits, north to south, like, you go, I don't understand the height. Have you grown up at all or no?
One of my son's softball coaches, established adult, wife, child, still fits into his high school track coat. Slow clap.
Yeah. Hey, how about that?
Good for you.
Yeah. Sure.
I have my JV practice, my varsity away game jersey. I have my face mask from my senior year. I hit a kid so hard it bent.
Well,
you hit a kid with your face mask?
Apparently. What's this one here from the 262? Scotty Tiffany says, I'm very particular about jerseys. I only have 3, and 2 of them are Sterling Sharp. The first one I got in the early 90s. I still have it and wear it occasionally. It's my lucky jersey.
Valid.
Okay, there you go.
That's a thing.
If a
The
jersey has
414
luck, you can't get rid of it.
The Roy Butler jersey from 96, this person still has. Wore it to Super Bowl 31. Still wear it today. A little snug.
Yeah, which is fine. It should be a little snug.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's not on you. That's normal.
North to south is my problem, typically.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Had a bit of a growth spurt.
Right. Like you might be able to get it on, but then it's a belly shirt, a belly jersey. Right?
That's a drop. Andre Dawson jersey. God, Trevor's troll is good morning.
Did you have one?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, hey, it's a valid question.
No, it's not.
Why?
It might be. I don't think I had one.
Yeah. See, you don't know. You might have.
No, I know. I would remember that. God, I hope there's not picture proof that would tell me wrong. We all had those uniforms from like the Packers. I believe that's why that person still has a Tim Brown Raiders jersey. Remember the uniform that you could get, the full uniform, and it was some random Packers jersey with the terrible helmet?
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. I remember
We
that.
all have that, I think. Does anybody still have that? Every once in a while, if they do, that helmet comes out of the woodwork and they wear it drinking. I'm going to see how I'm going to talk about drinking every segment just to prove my point.
Sounds about right.
I'm a fan of a player in Wisconsin until blank. How are we doing with the Giannis situation? And is it comparable? Back in a bit, inside Wisconsin sports with Trevor and Josh. Don't leave. Don't. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Like you guys, oh, Joey Ortiz, yes! He goes deep to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead. Ground ball left side, base hit. Bowers is going to score on it, and the Brewers will have the lead. Finally placed by Sal Frelick. Ground ball fair inside the bag. It takes a shot down towards the corner. Here comes Hamilton. No throw. Two-run double by Terang. Runner goes. Merrill, ground ball, second base. Terang on 2 hops. Ball game over. 5 straight wins for the Brewers. 6 for the final. They take the opener of the series with the Padres.
And if that's not enough, the Cubs lose again. Hey.
All right.
2.5 back for the Crew now. 6-4 against the Padres. An excitable Jeff Levering, who we went back and forth, Brewers TV. He had a bit of a moment with the 90s night and a boy band and a dance in regard to Bye Bye Bye. Did you hear that part?
I did not see that part.
He was saying all of my closet band confessionals out loud.
Oh.
He's a big 90s boy band guy. NSYNC, Backstreet.
Yeah. What, are you ashamed of that?
Opposite.
Okay. Good.
Just good to know I wasn't alone is all.
Yeah. There you go.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Hour 2. Happy Wednesday. Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, your radio, statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Anything else? Did I cover it all? Got it?
I think that's it.
Time for the Malott Meets Morning Mind Up. Here we go.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump, presented by Malott Meats. High-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door. To learn more, visit WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
I have an opportunity to grab a steak from Malott Meats, grill it in the parking lot tomorrow, and carry it in.
Sounds like a slam dunk. Why? What's the issue?
Do we want to be that? I mean, I understand steaks, Malott Meats steaks, WisconsinMeatMarket.com. That's great for the parking lot.
Uh-huh.
Do we want to be that guy? Is that going to be a thing?
I think you choosing to be that guy is just fine.
Shut up. I know exactly what you mean by that. Know exactly what you mean by that, and that's exactly why I don't want to choose it.
Oh, God, it's fun.
I am a fan of a player until blank. Giannis, Favre, Rodgers, others. What is it about our favorite athletes here in Wisconsin and the way they exit our favorite teams? We were talking about this yesterday, Josh, in regard to Giannis and the situation and when it seems to turn.
Right. I mean, it goes with the old saying from The Dark Knight that you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And I'm looking at the situation specifically with Giannis and the amount of people out there that, regardless of if Giannis stays a buck, doesn't stay a buck, that they're irritated with Giannis. And they're mad at Giannis, and the relationship between the fan base and Giannis for some people has soured. And I'm going, what is it about? Is it who that specific fan is? Like, is there a thing as a fan? And I'm not telling you how to fan, but is there something about...
I love that. That's my favorite word after you say that. I'm not telling you how to fan.
But is there something within an individual as a fan that a nerve gets hit, right? The player strikes a nerve and you go, nope, I hate when athletes do that. I'm done with that guy. And is that happening with Giannis? Clearly, it isn't happening with me, right? I'm still absolutely pro Giannis. Love him. He's my favorite forever. But there is definitely something with players. On the Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250, the 414 chimed in and said they feel that way about Favre. They're still, like, the turning point for them was when he went to the Vikings. Was fine when he was no longer a Packer. Was fine when he went and played for the Jets. But it was then when he went and he played for the purple and yellow. He goes on to say his Hall of Fame locker has a Vikings jersey in it. That's Joe B. in Ixonia. So that's a good point, right? Was that the turning point? We talk about Craig Counsell. We had no problem with Craig Counsell leaving. It was just going to the Cubs.
Right. Favre's a good example of this.
Yeah, talk about, Trevor, where you're at with the Giannis thing, and can you compare it to how you've felt about a different relationship ending with a Wisconsin athlete?
I'm going to get bagged for this, but I feel like the Giannis thing is more comparable to Rodgers than it is to Favre. Favre had been wishy-washy about retirement for years. I mean, Tractor Watch was a decade long, it felt like.
Sure.
So when he finally did decide to retire and he had the big press conference and the tears and all the things, and then ultimately decided to come back, the Packers had already moved on. And he had this assumption that he was going to be the starter regardless, and that just wasn't the case. It was one of the first decisions Mark Murphy had to make as president and CEO of the Packers, along with Mike McCarthy and then Ted Thompson and so on. The situation there, though, in comparison to Rodgers and I think Giannis, is a little bit different. It feels, from the outside looking in, that Rodgers and Giannis both, I don't want to say overstayed their welcome, but maybe overstepped their bounds. It feels like Giannis is making himself bigger than the team and bigger than the organization. And that was the exact feeling I personally got with Aaron Rodgers towards the end of his tenure in Green Bay. And I think that's the tipping point for me. When the player, again, from the outside looking in, makes it more about themselves than the franchise. We've said for years that nobody is bigger than the G on the side of Lambeau Field, on the side of the Green Bay Packers helmet. And when you believe that you're bigger than the G, you will be quickly reminded that you are not.
Although there were people that didn't feel that way about Favre.
I know, did feel that way about Favre.
That I'm saying there were people that followed Favre.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't feel, other than right at the end when Favre was saying, I'm the starter and I'm not coming back unless I am, well, then we're going to trade you to New York. That was the only time I really felt like Favre made himself bigger than the G.
Sure.
It was right at the end. But that wasn't the case for Rodgers. It was years long of Aaron Rodgers thinking he was bigger than the G. Some could argue that Favre had his own locker and ultimately didn't want to practice and didn't want to show up to training camp. I get it. But I also think that at the end, he just went off. Now, when he put on that purple, I lost my voice for 3 days. I booed him so hard when he came back to Lambeau Field with the Vikings.
Yeah.
But in comparison to the Giannis situation, to me, again, and I don't have fandom in comparison for the Bucks as I do the Packers. I was talking with Dario about that the other day, Josh. I actually meant to ask you this. There's a difference between being a fanatic and being a person that roots for the success of a team. You would agree?
Sure, but go on.
Well, for me, I'm a fanatic of the Green Bay Packers. I live and die emotionally with the wins and losses of the green and gold. I mean, look back at the tape towards the end of last season. I was not well. I am not a fanatic about Bucks basketball. I very much root for them, and I do not ever root against them, but I don't have that fanatic feeling about Giannis or the Bucks. That doesn't mean I don't want them to do well. That doesn't mean I'm not a fan. I just don't have that fanatic way of fanning that we've talked about so many times.
Okay.
So my feeling on the Giannis thing is less from a fanatic standpoint and more from I just kind of want it to go away. And that's how I felt about Rodgers at the end as well.
Even though you were a fanatic of the Packers.
Yeah, but I didn't emotionally connect myself to the QB position. I just wanted it to go away because I wanted the team to do well, and I was sick of the distraction. And maybe that's the best way to put it about the Giannis thing. There's a lot of people that are sick of the distraction, sick of the conversation, sick of the national media and all the things that Shams brings. And so at this point, it just appears that Giannis is making it about him and maybe is too big for his britches, as we would say here in Wisconsin. And that's exactly how I feel like Favre's tenure was different than the way Rodgers' tenure ended.
There are so many things that go into this for me. And the biggest thing is that these emotions, the way that we feel as fans, it only happens with megastars, right? Like when Jordy left Green Bay, that stunk, right? Because we all love Jordy Nelson, but no one was mad at Jordy. People were just like, I mean, yeah, go get the money.
That wasn't on Jordy's accord. Jordy got released.
Sure, but like I'm saying, like, were people mad at the Packers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Lots of
I don't
people
remember
didn't understand the move. Yeah. So that's the hard part is, especially with the names, right? There's a few breakups. One, unfortunately for the listeners, he got his voice back.
Trevor's troll with it.
Trevor's troll is on one today, but good to see you. Yeah, dinger after dinger or zinger after zinger.
Good for him.
Good to see you. What the hell are we talking about?
Talking about, well, I brought up Jordy Nelson.
Okay. So it wasn't about, so Jordy was one of the names that unfortunately the Packers, Goody, had to make a decision on to move on from. That was not a popular decision based on his name. Pause. Anybody with a lick of football knowledge could look at how Jordy was performing the last few years and go, meh. I also remember vividly, was it the year of Brett Hundley when Rodgers got hurt? It seemed as though Jordy just didn't give max effort that year.
Well, sure. I mean, that would make sense.
I mean, kind of made his own bed with that a little bit. But on the flip side, there's other players that moved on, like Ray Allen.
Right.
Were we mad at Ray Allen?
Well, but here's the thing. This is why this is interesting. And I want to address this with Zach and Green Bay's question on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, who said, why do these situations always seem to happen with basketball and football players and not really baseball players? The reason why, and this is the second layer of the onion of this, is it's what we expect from that specific sports franchise. The Brewers, when they lose a player, we're frustrated, but we're frustrated because we know we can't afford them. We're already going through it with Bryce Terang right now, and he's still under team control for a while. We're just so used to the mentality of we like this piece, we're emotionally invested in this player, but we already are preparing ourselves for the hurt of the day when they're not going to be here. When it comes to a megastar that we see in a different organization that plays by different rules, that's not the case. Ray Allen, everyone knew the Bucks weren't going to re-sign Ray Allen. They weren't going to be able to keep him here. So, just like they said about Giannis, if he doesn't sign the Supermax for trading him, we knew that the trade was coming. The thing that soured all of that was what we got in return for Ray Allen. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen with Giannis. It's going to be that type of, okay, I mean, yep, if he's not going to sign the Supermax, we have to move on from Giannis. But what are we going to get in return? Are we going to look back at this in 3 to 5 years and go, man, did we lose that trade? That didn't pan out at all. That's a completely different argument, though. That's a different, based on, do you ever really get anything back for your megastar, is a different argument from the emotional fandom side of it.
It's really the good guy, bad guy scenario. In the Ray Allen trade, who is the bad guy? The Bucks.
Sure. Right.
In the Favre trade, who is the bad guy? Favre. Rodgers? Favre. Giannis? That's TBD. And that's, I think, the difference. Right now, it feels a little bit like Giannis is the bad guy because of self-admittedly, he let this kind of play on a little bit. He has this villainness to him this season that he hadn't had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, whenever it comes down of, did the Bucks offer? If the Bucks don't offer the Supermax, the Bucks are the bad guy, number one. Number two, if the Bucks offer the Supermax and he doesn't sign it, now Giannis is the bad guy.
Right.
Or number three, they have a mutual agreement. And this is where I'm curious to know your opinion. There is a mutual, they both joint petition and file for divorce together. They walk in together. Nobody serves each other papers. There was a mutual decision that this is irrevocably broken, irrepaired.
That's interesting because I still, even if they come out and they say that together, I'm still basing it on, I'll still ask, okay, but did you offer him the Supermax? And he said no. Like, it's still going to come down to that decision for me. For me, there's not a middle ground. It's really just one way or another. The Bucks have to at least formally do it.
Is there a scenario in this Giannis piece, Josh, where you would actually feel as if Giannis is the bad guy? Or are you blind in love?
I'm probably blind in love. I would definitely skew more towards it being Giannis's fault if the Bucks followed through. If the Bucks offer him the Supermax and he says, I didn't sign it, I'm going to be like, okay, well, then you're admitting you're the one that's breaking up the relationship then. The Bucks did their part. They're saying they want to keep you. You're saying it's time to move on. I still won't be mad at him, though, because I think that even if he does come out and say, Milwaukee, I love you, I'm not signing the Supermax, I just feel like it's time. I want to make sure that Milwaukee continues to grow and prosper, and I'm going to make sure that, you know, I do what's best for me and the organization, blah, blah, blah. He comes out and gives that PR speech. I still think it's fair. And I don't think that Giannis owes us anything more than what he's given us. So even if that's a decision, I won't love it, but I'll understand it. But it really does come down to who's ending the relationship here based on that Supermax being offered.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. What says you? We're in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump talking about when a relationship changes with one of our favorite athletes in Wisconsin. Look at the Badgers as an example. Jonathan Blackwell the other day, Josh, was just on TV, Andy Katz TV. I use the word TV when you see a video. When's that going to change? That's a different topic for a different conversation. Does YouTube consider TV? Like, do kids still call it TV?
I don't think so. It's YouTube.
That's weird. Jeez. Andy Katz caught up with Jonathan Blackwell, and he's still mulling his decision on whether he's going to be in the NBA or go play for Duke. So John was like, in the NBA or go play for Duke. That's kind of how I feel about that. So in the college realm, I don't see an opportunity where the team is remotely close to the bad guy right now. It's all these players and their lack of loyalty.
Can you think of one example with the Brewers to where it was like as bad blood? We're mad because we were emotionally invested in a player and we thought they would stay. Like Corbin Burns, things didn't end super great, but
those are good examples right there with arbitration.
Yeah, but I don't think that we thought Corbin Burns was going to be here anyway. I mean, we were talking about, they can only keep him or Woody, and they're probably going to go Woody if any of them. You know, I don't think that any fan really thought, no, I think the Brewers are going to offer Corbin Burns a crap ton of money. Can't think of one.
Well, Gary Sheffield is the biggest one. So that one was clear, but it's lopsided. Gary Sheffield was very vocal about not wanting to be in Milwaukee, and he got his wish. In that scenario, he was the bad guy. Corbin Burns and the situation in regard to how the Brewers, I don't know, lowballed him or made him feel in the arbitration hearing like it was his fault that they lost in the playoffs. That one was, I mean, in those situations, not only with him, but others, the Brewers kind of look like the bad guy. Josh Hader?
Sure, maybe. a little bit, but not until after the fact. I love this from Zach in Green Bay. Zach in Green Bay said, my view of Rodgers changed after he started going on darkness retreats. That got weird. So that's the thing that I'm talking about.
What got weird?
Well, but that's what I'm talking about, right? There were a ton of people in Rodgers' time that were like, yeah, he's a good quarterback, but what is he doing with his hair? Get a haircut, and then it was the ayahuasca, and then it was even when he was still a Packer, it was some of the off-field things and the way that Rodgers was that started turning people off on Rodgers. I feel like the people that are getting turned off by Giannis right now, it's not because of his ability to play basketball. It's about his inability to have just flat out said, I'm going to be a Buck. Stop having these conversations. And people got frustrated with the wishy-washy answers.
There's a bit of Giannis, though, that is injury prone. And so for him to have these feelings about what the Bucks organization will or won't do for him while being on the schneid quite a bit is also a fascinating comparable. I just got a text from John Kuhn that I cannot wait to share with you. I've gotten permission.
Oh.
This will change some things in regards to college sports and loyalty. Stick around for this on a Would You Rather Wednesday.
Whoa.
Doug Gottlieb is confirmed for 8 a.m. Thank you, God. We'll get to our list of Would You Rather, but John chimed in here in regard to loyalty in college sports. I don't know if we have enough time in the rest of the show to debate this. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Back in a bit. Don't go anywhere. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on a Would You Rather Wednesday. Doug Gottlieb joins us at the top of the hour. In the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump, talking about when does it change in regard to our feelings about a player when it's a breakup with our favorite teams. Giannis and the Bucks, Rodgers and the Packers. Paul Molitor and the Brewers has come into the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought up Jonathan Blackwell and Duke and the lack of loyalty in college athletics. John Kuhn chimes in via text message and said there was never loyalty in college sports, just control. Oh,
interesting. Meaning
players would have had this perceived lack of loyalty had the colleges not had full control over them and their ability to play. Remember, there was a time when if you transferred, you had to sit out a year. And you were only allowed to transfer once, I believe, and you definitely weren't above the table getting paid.
Sure. So he's essentially saying it was never loyalty, it was just the rules.
Correct. I don't know if I believe that or not. I kind of want to mull that over. I want to ask Doug Gottlieb that for sure at the top of the hour.
Yeah, I still feel like there was, maybe it was clouded. Maybe it was different. It was dressed differently. But if you asked the kids if they were loyal to their team, they probably would have said yes.
Sure.
Sure.
And he played. I didn't. I mean, I did, but.
Yeah, right.
Not only that.
Yeah.
I wonder what Doug thinks of that. I can't wait to ask him this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It did, though, feel like loyalty to the fans. So from the player's perspective, he might be right. They never really felt like they were being loyal, although they did make it. I don't know, man. Like, they made a decision to go to that college knowing that if they were going to leave, there would be penalty. Is that just then loyalty created by control? Or is the player, when they make the decision to go to said college or university, that's them choosing that they're going to be loyal to that program? I get what he's saying, but I think it's fascinating.
That is super interesting. Curious.
All right, it's a Would You Rather Wednesday. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Josh, would you rather, in their prime, Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers?
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Rodgers.
Why?
I think that for stress levels, I think that watching the things that Brett Favre did were amazing, but there were also a lot of things that you just didn't know. He was a gunslinger for a reason. There was a lot of chucking it up there and not knowing, a lot of plays where you went, oh, that was dumb. Why'd you do that? Rodgers was a lot more smart and calculated, and it didn't always pan out, but it felt like if I'm watching a game, I'm a lot more calm watching a Rodgers game than a Favre game.
That's exactly why I would pick Brett Favre.
You were more nervous during a Rodgers game?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh.
I loved the ups and downs of Brett Favre. You never knew which Favre you were going to get. You never knew what he was going to say after the post-game press conference. I feel like Rodgers was pretty predictable. And when Rodgers, and here comes the Nicolay Law talking text line, Trevor bashing Rodgers again.
Yeah.
You could tell when Rodgers stopped stepping into his throws. And there were a few years there where it just wasn't as pretty as it used to be. And then he got a chip on his shoulder and won back-to-back MVPs. And go and watch his form then in comparison to the years prior, and it was completely different.
Interesting.
I'd rather have Favre.
Okay. I mean, I figured you probably would have. Hey, would you rather have the Bucks offer the Supermax or not offer the Supermax? I find that this is a very interesting question for someone that's ready to move on from Giannis. Because if the Bucks offer it, there's a chance that Giannis says yes. But also, if he says no, then it's not the Bucks' fault. If they never offer it, you know that Giannis is gone, but now the Bucks are the ones that look bad.
In the Would You Rather, scenario here where there are no other details offered, I personally believe it is the right time to move on from Giannis and the Bucks. Therefore, I would choose, I'd rather not offer it to him and just make it go away.
Okay.
I think I know where you stand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, offer it. I think it would be just a terrible look for the Bucks if they don't even offer it, especially considering the fact that you're going to get mad at Giannis for being, going back on his word. Well, the ownership group already came out and said, we're going to offer him the Supermax. If he doesn't sign it, we're going to trade him. So now,
did they say they were going to offer it to him, or did they say he either signs the Supermax or we're going to trade him?
Well, how is he supposed to sign it if you don't offer it?
Words are important. Yeah. Very simple here. Ford or Chevy?
A Chevy.
That was quick.
Yeah. But really, I'm a Honda guy, but I'd go Chevy, I guess.
I've been a Chevy guy for a long time. Chevy and Jeeps, Chrysler.
There you go. Hey, would you rather do a buffet or an all-you-can-eat meal? So, I know you're saying, Josh, aren't those the same? Hold on.
Yeah.
So, a buffet, being that the food is you go and get it yourself, but it's not as fresh, or an all-you-can-eat meal, like a fish fry, for example, that's fresh. The food that's you're reordering is fresh, being brought to you, but you're only really being allowed to eat more of that one type of food.
Right. Like an all-you-can-eat fish fry is just fish, whereas
just more
a buffet
fish
is all you can eat of all of the things.
Right. But it's not as fresh because it's been sitting on the, under the heat lamp for a couple hours.
Oh, man. I feel like I'm at an age now where I'm going to pick and choose what I eat a little more carefully. There was a time when if I went to one of those old country buffets, look out.
Yeah.
You're losing money tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Now, I don't know if that's the case because you can really overdo it on those. And to your point, not everything's the freshest. And then if you ever don't do this, but if you ever sit and watch people going through a buffet line,
you won't want to go to the buffet.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I think I'm choosing the old family style of whatever you can eat.
I'm probably doing the same, but I will tell you, when I go out for like an all-you-can-eat, I will preemptively put in can I get another order of? Like, I'll get another, like, you can just go put that in.
Right away.
And all-you-can-eat when I'm waiting. Like, I ate, and now I'm sitting and not eating for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, waiting for the next one to come out. Ate that.
The 906 says, buffets are gross. Ugh, I kind of agree. Again, there was a time when I didn't.
Right.
You know what's really gross? Is seafood on a buffet. Now you're asking for it.
Yeah, true. Don't you say, though, that a supper club needs a... All right, never mind. That's
not a buffet. Hold on.
Okay.
Throwing shade, not a buffet.
Right, because a super salad bar isn't a buffet of soups and salads.
Not a buffet.
Sure. Whatever you say, bud.
NFC North games in the cold or in reasonable temperatures?
No, cold. Absolutely.
So you'd rather play all of the NFC North games at the end of the year in the cold versus any of them fall, or the majority of them or all of them fall in the warm? I mean, I understand the black and blue division, and
I just always choose cold. I just always choose cold. I get what you're saying if they're also teams that are used to the cold, but I just like football being in the cold. I don't think the idea of facing non-divisional opponents who might not be used to the cold coming to Green Bay in December is a thing anymore. I don't think the weather advantage is truly a thing like it used to be back in the day. It doesn't seem that way. And so for that reason, I'm going to choose the cold. Makes for a better highlight moment.
True.
Would you rather use suntan lotion or suntan spray?
I'm so glad you asked this, because this is a very, very debatable topic. I glitched.
Yep.
Debatable topic in my house. Being a bald man and having a Jeep that the top comes off on a daily basis.
Yep.
In the summer. I absolutely am a lotion sunscreen guy.
Yeah.
The spray turns me into some sort of oily cue ball that I cannot shake. And when you spray that stuff on you and then you try to rub it in, it feels like you're trying to rub in
nothing.
Orange juice.
Right. It's very difficult because I usually go spray over lotion. And I guess my answer still is because you can ask a buddy to put spray on your back. Hey, can you spray my back? No problem. Hey, bud, can you rub that lotion into my back? No, I can't. Your back's just going to burn. Sorry. However, you also got to be careful with the spray because if you don't rub it in and you just spray it, you're going to miss. And there's going to be a random line, and you're going to look weird and feel hurt. So it's tough. That's why it's a would you rather question.
If you would have asked me, kids, would you rather lotion or spray? That's spray 1,000% of the time.
Interesting.
Stand there with your arms out. Don't move. Hold your breath when I say it. Ready?
Yep.
It's cold. It's cold. Shut up. It's going to be worse if you get sunburned.
That's right.
I tell you what, Josh, let's take a break. I've got a few more that I definitely need to ask you, and there's a bunch coming in on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. We're going to get to yours, and we'll finish ours as we ever so closely get to the top of the hour with Doug Gottlieb, the head coach of UW Green Bay men's basketball, joining us at 8 a.m. as he does nearly every single Wednesday. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Good morning, Bear.
Wendy's new cookie dough frosty fusion is the ultimate feel-good snack. Everything from the cookie dough to the brownie batter sauce was made for max happiness. Go grab a new cookie dough frosty fusion today and get that dopamine flowing. For the ultimate feel-good snack, it's got to be Wendy's.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh. On a Would You Rather Wednesday, 15 minutes from now, Doug Gottlieb joins us. A few more Would You Rathers along with yours on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Bob in Minneapolis has a pretty good one.
All right.
But we've gotten so many texts in the break that I lost it.
Okay.
Damn it. This thing really does fly. We'll find it.
Okay.
We'll get to you, Bob. There it is. Wait a minute. Got it. Would you rather be facing a zombie apocalypse or the aftermath of a zombie apocalypse?
Oh.
Get the difference? You want to be in it or after it?
Probably in it.
Fighting chance? You don't want to go down into the cellar and come out to a wasteland?
I mean, I guess that even if I'm in it, I'm still coming out to that, right? Even if, like, that's still the end game. Man, that's
You're going to live
depressing.
afterwards either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, go down with a fighting chance.
Yeah, I guess.
Of all of the apocalypses, that one is the most fascinating one to sit and noodle.
Yeah, the zombie one.
You want to spiral. Never going to happen. Here's one from me. You have a signed Reggie White jersey.
Ooh, okay.
You also have a signed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Bucks jersey.
Okay.
Would you rather have Micah Parsons sign the Reggie jersey or Giannis sign the Kareem jersey?
Oh, God. that was a turn I wasn't expecting. Boy. I guess Giannis on the Kareem. I just hold Reggie to a higher stand. Like,
I get that.
Keep Reggie's jersey pure. Nothing. Obviously, love Micah, but Micah. I'd rather have Micah also sign the Kareem jersey,
just so you don't tarnish
Reggie's
Reggie White jersey.
Yeah, just have all three of them
funny.
sign the Kareem jersey.
That was funny.
All right, my last one I have here. You can only replace one. Would you rather replace your sock with a hole in it or your underwear with a hole in them?
Sock.
Same.
We call it a golf sock. You got a hole in one.
There you go.
And for the love of God, when you have a hole in one sock, please throw out both, no matter the condition of the other one.
I cannot stand wearing a sock with a hole in it. People that go, yeah, it's a small hole. No, like I just can't. It bugs me all day. I have to get rid of that sock.
Would you rather keep underwear for a long time or get new ones every year?
Well, I don't feel like I decide that. Like that's
okay. So you'd rather keep them because apparently that is not a change out that you often do.
No, if the underwear is still good,
you?
if the underwear is still good, they're good.
But how long is too long?
I don't feel like I've ever had a pair of underwear that made it too long. Like the shelf life of the underwear that have to unfortunately go on this body. They have a short shelf life. They're not lasting. They're not lasting until I go, I know these are in good condition, but boy, I've been wearing these for a while. No, they're screaming. They're going, okay.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Please put us down.
Last one for me.
Okay.
Would you rather, if you had to clone a 1982 Brewer and add them to this team?
Ooh.
Would you choose Robin Yount or Gorman Thomas?
Yount.
That was really quick. Why?
Just because he can play short.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. Come on. Joey had a great night,
did.
Josh.
It was one night. And Yount's a Hall of Famer. Come on now.
All right. The Nicolay Law Talking text line's rolling now. 414-677-1250. Would you rather watch old school Simpsons or Family Guy?
Family Guy. I was a huge Family Guy kid. Simpsons was fine, but Family Guy was way bigger for me.
Totally different level, too, don't you think? Like, Simpsons came out, we're all like, ooh.
Right.
Not sure. Family Guy came out, there was no guessing where you stood. You were either in on that or not.
Yeah. Well, it's just also that Simpsons there is no Family Guy without Simpsons.
Would you rather, Bob in Minneapolis, while driving at night on a rural wilderness road, have a UFO hover over your head or run into an angry Sasquatch?
Jeez, Bob, you were on one today.
He's on something.
I am going to go. I'm going to go UFO. I think I'm going to go UFO. Because
I don't really want to deal with Sasquatch.
It's just hanging out there.
With my luck, Sasquatch would eye me up and go, "Oh, you think you're big?"
Right. Like even if think about what happens to your car if you hit a deer. Like even if you hit Sasquatch, like you're toast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With our luck, dude's getting up pissed.
Right. Right. Exactly.
If this is a would you rather in your life, I hate you. Would you? This is dumb.
Okay.
Is this really a question?
I don't know.
Would you rather cereal in your bowl and then milk over it, or milk in your bowl and then cereal over the top? Don't you dare get this wrong.
Okay, it's cereal first.
Yeah,
but I know that people exist that do it the other way.
They're stupid. What? Why are they measuring out a cup of milk?
I don't. They just go, that's the milk for the bowl, and then I'll put the cereal. I know.
I've never seen anybody do that. Frankly, I'm glad because I would absolutely say something. Don't tell me how to fan, fine, blah. I will absolutely tell you how to cereal. Are there human beings out there that do this?
Yes, there are, and they're savages. 414 sauce on wings or naked and then dunk. That from Timbo Slice.
Naked and then dunk.
Naked and dunk?
Yeah, first off,
I'm dunking it in the ranch. I need the sauce on the wing so that I can dunk in the ranch.
You just dunk it in the sauce and then dunk it in the ranch.
No, it's too weird.
I'm also a dry rub wing guy. Why? Because I was so sick of looking like I got in a fight with a barbecue truck.
Classic Trevor Thomas. Dry wings and Diet Sprite.
Of all of the things that I didn't expect to get man bullied by, I would have never guessed Diet Sprite was going to be one that tipped you guys off.
Well, he's kind of like a dry rub wing and Diet Sprite kind of guy.
Have you not tried the dry rub at Buffalo Wild Wings?
I have had dry rub, yeah. It's not as good. It's just saucing them up.
I'm the opposite. There's a dry rub at a spot up here called The Bar.
Yep.
It's bourbon. It's maple bourbon. Real good. There you go, talking about drinking again. Doug Gottlieb joins us at the top of the hour. I'm real fascinated to see two things. Number one, I watched a movie I've never seen between the last time we talked to him, and I've got a number of texts. Did you see this movie he sent me a clip the other day of Kingpin. Did you see this movie? Well, I watched one. We'll get his feedback. Plus, what's up with this loyalty in college thing? John Kuhn said it's never been loyalty. It's been about control. DG is next inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
It's time for your fan weather forecast brought to you by Habish, and Rotier. Cloudy conditions expected later this morning and continuing into the afternoon with a high of 57 degrees. It's currently 47 degrees here in Milwaukee.
I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Like you guys, Joey Ortiz, yes! He goes deep to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead. Ground ball left side, base hit. Bowers is going to score on it, and the Brewers will have the lead. Finally placed by Sal Frelick. Ground ball fair inside the bag. It takes a shot down towards the corner. Here comes Hamilton. No throw. Two-run double by Terang. Runner goes. Merrill, ground ball, second base. Terang on 2 hops. Ball game over. 5 straight wins for the Brewers. 6 for the final. They take the opener of the series with the Padres.
And we are 100% sure they play again tonight. 100%.
Oh, boy.
640?
I think so.
I think so, too. Audio courtesy of Brewers TV. What's up, Wisconsin? Hour 3. Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Hi.
I jinxed it, didn't I?
What happened?
This is my fault. What's supposed to happen right now?
Well, Doug Gottlieb usually joins us.
Uh-huh.
Especially after he confirms that he's joining us.
You said I took a chance with that promo. I didn't go with the for sure thing of saying we're going to recap the Brewer game. I said, no, we're going to talk to Doug Gottlieb.
He'll be here. He's coming.
Okay.
Listen, would you rather have a promo that talks about a Brewer game that absolutely is not happening, or a promo that talks about having Doug Gottlieb, which should be happening because he literally responded to me 3 minutes ago?
Uh-huh. Either way, it's okay. He's here. Hey. Oh,
joining us now on the radio. UW Green Bay men's basketball. DG, can you hear us?
Yeah. There was a second there where I couldn't hear you. I don't know.
Good to see you. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Where in the world is Doug Gottlieb?
Yeah, where
today?
in the world is Doug Gottlieb?
Studio City, California. But I'll be in Green Bay tonight. Going to the Brewers game with a bunch of buddies tomorrow. And then a little concert at Lambeau on Friday. We're going to do the Friday concert.
I'm doing the Friday concert and the Saturday concert and the Shinedown concert tonight.
The Shinedown concert looks amazing. I'm not trying to diminish that in any way. But I can't do the Saturday one, Trev, because work does call. It's a live period, so we can go out and recruit, and we're going to scatter to follow as many Wisconsin kids as possible. High school kids, that's what we're looking at.
So you're doing what? 2 legs of the quadfecta? Is that what I'm hearing?
The what? Oh, Brewers game, Lambeau, and then what? You're supposed to do 2 nights of the concert?
Shinedown,
Shinedown, Brewers game, Lambeau.
What time's Shinedown going tonight?
Doors open at 6. I believe the start of the show is at 7. Shinedown probably 9:30. So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance. Grace is like, my daughter Grace is like super into Shinedown. She's like, dude, but she's in Oklahoma. She just finished up school, so she's not coming, but she's excited for me. Anyway, that one I might be able to make.
All right. So you're saying there's a chance. I like it. All right.
Doug Gottlieb. Wait, Shinedown at Epic or at the Resch?
Resch. It's a big show. This is, I believe, their first show on their new tour tonight.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Opening night.
I think so. Don't quote me on that.
So are we getting into the sports movie thing, or do you guys have other topics you want to get?
Well, lots
Trevor's
of other
so
topics,
excited
including
about this. It's like, dude.
Well,
he shouldn't have been.
Okay. First things first, you texted me a clip from Kingpin. I didn't recognize that it was Kingpin until you said it's Kingpin. And then I was like, okay, I've seen that one.
Okay.
Just been a hot minute. I watched a movie. It wasn't a sports movie, though. So Friday night, some buddies were over watching the Brewer game. I know, it's a thing. And after the game, we looked at each other. They clearly listened, and they said, well, we're probably going to have to watch one of these sports movies that you haven't seen, right? Like, it was early. We were all fully awake. We landed on Dazed and Confused.
Not
what the hell was that? Like, I get it. Cult following, all the red. Like, I get it. Quite possibly the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Well, he hasn't seen a lot of movies, so.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of movies. I don't think it's anywhere near the worst movie. Can I help you? Like, let me help you.
Please?
No.
Because the worst movie, that is classic radio guy, like, the worst movie I've ever seen. Caller, Dazed and Confused. I watch with a bunch of buddies. Just don't get it, Jim. Oh, Dazed and Confused. That's the good. Anyway, I think in comparison, the balance between the hype and people who quote it as if it's an elite movie and maybe the actual product. Okay. I also think, Trev, you might be sliding a little on the young scale. It's a little bit of a snapshot of what high school is like, a little bit more for my brother and sister, maybe even than me. But yeah, it is you have to check the box and say you saw Dazed Confused. So I don't think there's a negative to having seen it. I just don't think it's anywhere near the worst movie you've ever seen. And what you have to take away is it's like Matthew McConaughey playing the creepy old guy that still hangs around high schools, right? Like, I know that guy. That's the part of the movie that people like.
We all know that guy.
No, that's not the problem, DG. That wasn't the problem at all. The problem is we gave him an assignment. There was an assignment.
Yeah.
There were 4 movies that he wrote down on a piece of paper. Why are you having to look for a movie at all? You say to your friends, hey, I got a list of 4 movies I got to see here. Which one do you want to watch?
Yeah, you know what, Josh, this is 2 weeks in a row. You're just rolling on this. You know what this is? Josh, are you married?
I am. Yeah.
Okay,
10
so
years.
I had 20 years in the marriage business, whatever, right? But this does sound, Trevor can relate to this as well. This is classic, like every husband, like you come back from the grocery store, you were sent to the grocery store to get something. Like I needed butter, or
yeah,
you're gonna make your steak, you need I need my Himalayan sea salt or whatever, Himalayan salt or whatever. Anyway, you had an assignment, you come back, you're like, babe, you gotta see this. Watermelon's on sale. You gotta see this. Ice cream's on, like a 2-for-1 ice cream. Oh my God, look what I got on Dr. Pepper. I got this beer. You're like, but wait. Did you actually get the butter that I needed? How'd I do, Josh?
The one thing.
How'd I do?
Yep. That's pretty good. That's pretty spot on.
Nailed it.
I have no idea.
So
he goes, I didn't watch one of those movies.
Do it. Look, we all do it. And he did the classic, but this Dr. Pepper is amazing. Look at the deal. Like he's trying to sell us. He was excited about Dazed and Confused. Like you had an opportunity with a bunch of guys who were willing to sacrifice 2 hours to watch a sports movie they'd already seen. They know Rocco pulls this one out, right? They know these things. And yet you still blatantly rub it in our faces that you refused the assignment given. Well done, Josh.
He was so excited, and I was like, why are you excited? You're excited that you didn't do it? I don't understand.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, we did have our friend John Kuhn actually text in. We were talking. That's right. That's who we're
the
talking
one.
about. Mm-hmm. He texted in earlier when we were talking about loyalty, and he brought up, what did he say exactly, Trevor? The exact quote from him was,
the exact quote from John. Well, we were talking about when a breakup happens in sports.
Right.
And I compared some of the breakups like we were about to go through with Giannis, most likely, or Favre, Rodgers, and others. And then I compared that to a lot of the breakups that we're experiencing in college sports. And John texted me and said, there was never loyalty in college sports, just control. The floor is yours.
Your
That's
thoughts.
Bullcrap. That's bullcrap. Forgive me, John. Like I'm not in any way. I was a fan of him as a player. So, where did he go to school?
College in Pittsburgh, I believe,
Shippensburg.
right?
Oh, Shippensburg State? Oh, I got buddies went to Shippensburg State. I don't know what his college experience was like. Mine was different.
Okay, so talk about that. Then compare what you were having in college in terms of loyalty and how you view loyalty today.
About a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I was really struck with something I thought was very disloyal to what we're building, and it really disappointed me. I do think it exists. I don't think it exists at all places. And at places even like GB that exists, it's not always mutual between coach and player, player to coach, or school, player to school, or whatever. It is a dying thing. But it's not extinct. It still exists, and there's not necessarily a reward for it, though. Like being loyal to people is not as rewarded. So anyway, to John's thing is like the control thing. Stop it, John. Stop it. We need to stop this nonsense. Like, dude, you didn't go to Division I school. I did. I went to Notre Dame, went to Oklahoma State. Okay, we weren't being controlled. We got the greatest opportunity ever. Everything I've done, everything I've accomplished, every car I've purchased, everything my kids have been able to go through, every school, every trip, everything has been provided because I played basketball in college. That's it. That's how it's supposed to work. It's how it's supposed to work. It's what's happened with Jeff Norgard's life. Jeff Norgard's the best example, right? Here's a kid who, when he came out of high school, he did not have a basketball scholarship. Norgie was a football player, right? I believe he redshirted at GB. He didn't know if he wanted to stay or whatever. Like, he's still the man in our area of Wisconsin, right? Northeast Wisconsin, like, he's the dude. He's Norgie. Like, people ask me all the time, like, you know Norgie? Yeah, I know Norgie. Oh, Norgie. How good was Norgie in college, right? Oh, Jason Kidd. Like, that's how it works, right? It's actually how it worked for every college student ever. Ever. You go to college, you accomplish great things. Those things allow you to get your first job, and that's kind of your fallback of greatest 4 years of my life, and there's a balance and a loyalty between the two. So, John, you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong because you're speaking about something you don't actually know about because you didn't experience it. If you experienced it at Pittsburgh and you're like, hey, Pittsburgh, totally disloyal to me, right? Again, that's your personal experience. If Shippensburg State controlled, I don't know how Shippensburg State controlled you, but I can tell you unequivocally, Oklahoma State, I've used my time at Oklahoma State and my success at Oklahoma State to springboard me into everything that I've done. That's what college is about. Okay, and there's a loyalty to that. Now, do I feel a mutual loyalty with Oklahoma State, even though two of my kids go there? No, not really. I think some of that is dying. I think there's a lot of turnover in that university. There's, major universities have different things, different coaches. I have nothing against Steve Lutz. We're not like boys. Like, I don't know him really well. I became really good friends with Mike Boynton. Do I think loyalty is dying? Yes. Do I think loyalty existed? Yes. I think the loyalty was, for the most part, between player and school and the coach and player and all that family. I think coaches still maintain a sense of loyalty. I think players, because of so many outside influences, are being pushed away from it meaning anything to them. Don't worry about that guy. It doesn't mean he's got another player coming. Just go do your thing. And I think that's disgraceful. I think it's the best thing that we teach in sports is loyalty, coinciding with discipline.
But to play a little bit of devil's advocate here, so is it not also, though, the difference in opportunity, right? Like a long time ago, I worked at a bank, and they said that not every time that someone comes into a bank are they thinking to rob it. But if you leave a stack of cash out and it's within view, it's going to make that person think, hey, I might have an opportunity to grab that. You're creating that opportunity. I think John's point was he was saying, in comparison to how things are now in college, where there are those opportunities for the transfer portal and for you to not be loyal to a school because you can chase the money and you can transfer and go wherever you want. Back in the day, they didn't have that because there wasn't that opportunity. There wasn't that loyalty. It's just control. It was you're here, and if you're not going to be here, you're going to sit for a year somewhere else. So are you willing to make that sacrifice?
Yeah, it's called being an adult and making a decision and having to live with that decision. We've taken all that away. Okay. And remember, not every kid that transferred, even back then, it was their decision. Sometimes it was they didn't want to do the work, they weren't good enough, they didn't fit in, all the same things. So I think that's actually if that's the way it's contextualized, it's interesting, right? There was the lack of opportunity. Lack of opportunity never existed. Didn't exist. There was no punishment. This whole idea of punishment of sitting out a year when you transferred, like you get better. You get way better. It helps you absorb the culture. Now, when I sat out at a junior college so that I could watch for a year and really know what I was getting into, because even back then, things changed dramatically from year to year. And redshirting year, yeah, there are coaches can leave, players can improve, guys can get hurt, all sorts of things can happen. But again, like the opportunity, here's what I mean loyalty is dying, not dead. Okay. I would never transfer inside my conference. I wouldn't do it.
Unwritten rule.
Do it. Okay. And it's happened 2 years in a row. Okay. And first player who did it, I love him. He just needed a fresh start. And we agonized over him going in the portal. And I said, my last words are, hey, man, I would just appreciate it if you didn't transfer inside the league. I go, there's 365 teams, just cut out 10. Okay? Now, that decision was made. I disagree with it. I'm still loyal to that young man. I'd still like to help him if he wants. We've texted about, hey, if you want to come back in the area and get a job, I'd love to help. Happened this year. I'm really bothered by it because it could not have been left on better terms. A substantial offer was made. Was also told, hey, I know we're filling up our roster. I will save space. I will find the money if you don't find what you're looking for. And I feel like that's a lack of loyalty. You can transfer in your league? Are you out of your mind? Again, and now I think that exists in college coaching as well. Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss for LSU. All he said this week is what everybody in sports knows. It's really hard to recruit black kids to Ole Miss. You know, when I was in college, I had teammates that their friends that played at Ole Miss, and their black kids are like, I ain't ever playing there. They got the rebel flag. They got the Confederate flag in the stands. No thanks. I wouldn't play there with that stuff going on. Sorry, just not. You hate the black guys, you hate the Jews too. So we're out. That's the way I am. But Lane Kiffin, like, again, you can go wherever, but you're going to go to LSU in the same league? What are we doing? So it's not just the players, okay? And then in college coaching, you know, you have coaches getting fired like 3 games into a year. What are you doing? Wait, so you thought enough of the coach to give him a year, but 3 games in, you're done? Well, what is that? That also, by the way, is not loyalty to players, because the second you fire the coach, everybody can go in the portal. It becomes a poop show. Your season is done, and really, you're lighting a match and starting over. You can still fire you can fire a coach whenever you want at the end of the year. You're like, well, we didn't want to give him the chance to win. Why? All right, he wins 6-7 games. He turns it around. You can still fire him. You go, hey, it's just not working out. So he likes my take. Anyway, but loyalty is, Josh, it did exist previously. Again, I'll just mention Oklahoma State because it's my experience, and Notre Dame. Okay, you finished Notre Dame. I did not. I'm not a domer, but any domer will tell you, like, they try and take care of domers.
Yeah, I just think it's easier to stay loyal when someone's not shoving a bag of money in your face.
Right, I agree, but that's what true loyalty is. And again, no one's saying the player who left, what we were talking about. I didn't sit again. Did I think it was a mistake for him to leave, considering where we were financially and where he's come from, and the fact, my thing was like, dude, stay one more year and then go. Don't go to the midway step. Take the big step, right? Make some life-changing money where you can set some money aside, or take the big step this year, make a bunch of money, and then your last year come back to a level where you can be a star, so you can help start your professional career in playing overseas, because you got to have some numbers to put up to go overseas. So, Josh, I agree with you, but money in your face really proves you're loyal. Everybody says they're loyal. Show me you're loyal, right? It's like it's like the guy who's completely obese, gross, doesn't take care of himself. He's like, I don't cheat on my wife. Like, hey, dude, no one ever came up to you and wanted you. Tell me that when a 10 swings by and goes, hey, big boy, what are you doing? Like, that's what loyalty is. Right? So Josh, you're actually proving my point, which is
read my memoir.
You can say you're loyal, but when somebody comes to the bag, again, and I don't think loyalty means staying. It doesn't necessarily mean staying. It just means being forthright, making a decision, and then going like, hey, here's the decision I made. Here's why I made the decision, and here's why it works for me. And I hope if you were in that position, you could understand it. And if it's 2x, 3x the money, and you don't have any emotional or physical ties to Green Bay, for example, and you want to leave, go do it. But what you're giving up is, I think Green Bay people are super loyal. They're obviously loyal to the pack. And I think they're loyal to us. And I think the guys that stay, and even if their career doesn't work out perfectly, they end up being the Jeff Norgards of the world. And Jeff would tell you he's never worked a day in his life. I don't even know what Jeff does. I know I actually do sort of know what he does, but it's one of those, like, he's out boating out behind my house sometimes. Like, do you work? But the point is that he's America's guest because of what he did in college. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it used to be. I think Green Bay is super loyal to Jeff. I think Jeff is super loyal to Green Bay. I think that did exist. I didn't think it's about control. I understand a little bit about that perspective, but true loyalty is turning down a little bit more money for a lot more in return.
Doug Gottlieb, the head coach of UWGB men's basketball on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. DG, are you sticking around for another segment?
Yeah.
Good. We'll continue the conversation when we get back. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Back with us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Doug Gottlieb, head coach of UW Green Bay men's basketball. Hey, it's a Would You Rather Wednesday, and some heathen on the Nicolay Law talk and text line said, would you rather put milk in your bowl first and then cereal, or cereal and then milk? The fact that that's an option somehow angers me.
Why?
You put milk. Please don't tell me you put. I've never seen
you don't
it.
do that, right?
You don't put milk in first, right?
No, but can we have the discussion about it? Because it's a different experience.
No.
Why?
No, we can't.
Why would you do that?
Again, because it's a different experience. Like, okay, so what's your favorite cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's a strong cereal. Because you know, I mean, because that's like a double treat, right? Because when you eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch, then you drink
the milk.
You're like,
professional.
Cinnamon milk. This is amazing. Okay, Josh, your favorite cereal?
I'm also a big Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy. Otherwise, like Reese's Puffs.
Oh, are you guys having a moment?
Yeah.
First one ever.
Yeah, a cereal. Cereal.
This might be the only thing we've agreed on in 9 months.
Connection is over sports, not sports movies, sports, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Look at us.
Yeah, I'm never having Cinnamon Toast
What's
Crunch
yours?
again.
I'm super lame. If it has anything sweet in it, it's Golden Grams. I love Golden Grams. Old school, shout out. But I like grape nuts. I like plain Cheerios. But I mean, I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And when my kids were little, I had it in the house, and it's hard in the middle of the night to not go like, hey, throw a little milk in there. It's good. But I'm just not a big sweet guy. But here's my point. Okay. This is like do you put your shoes on, sock in a sock, shoe in a shoe, or do you put sock in a shoe, sock in a shoe? Everybody, you'd think, puts on sock in a sock, shoe in a shoe, right? And that's how we all get dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But have you ever tried it the other way?
2 socks and then 2 shoes?
No.
Sock, shoe. Sock, shoe.
That's what I do.
Wait, what? Why?
What?
I don't know why.
Okay.
I literally
because again, right? Like, see, Josh, we learned something new. So my point: if you put Cinnamon Toast Crunch, if you put the
this makes me not want to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
If you put the milk in first, the Cinnamon Toast. If you don't like it soggy, if you like it more crisp, and you eat it, it will not sink in as much. Now, you don't get that added benefit of the cinnamony milk that we just described, but you get a different taste experience with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's a much crunchier than if you soak it in the milk, Josh.
I'm sorry, I can't focus on this. You put your shoes, you put a sock and then shoe, and then so you keep your socks and your shoes near each other?
So every morning I lay out my clothes. My socks are a little bundled up like this. Okay.
Yep.
And I sit down at the kitchen table and I undo I'm doing this in real time. I just took my socks and shoes off to see what my natural. So I always put a sock on first. Got the right sock on.
And then you put the other sock on.
I definitely grab a shoe.
That is insane.
And I put the shoe on.
Beyond just how people should get dressed.
I'm not done with my process yet. Now I have a shoe on my right foot. Before I tie that shoe back to the other sock goes on. Then I put the other shoe on. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I stand my fat ass up and put my foot somewhere higher so I don't have to bend over to tie my shoes. You're welcome. Tip of the day.
This explains just so much about why Trevor is the way he is.
Yeah, definitely one sock and one shoe at a time.
I disagree with this process on so many levels. First and foremost, who the hell keeps their shoes anywhere near the socks? No one. My shoes are near the front door. I don't keep my socks near the front door. I don't carry my socks to the front door.
Well, the fact that you leave your socks by the front doors means your mom taught you something that my kids never got taught.
No, I'm saying I don't do that. My socks are nowhere near the front door.
Mine neither. They're by the kitchen table where I put them the night before.
Right. So then I put them on, and then I walk to the front door to put my shoes on like a normal person. I don't think there has been a single point in my life where I've ever had a sock and a shoe on one foot and nothing on the other.
Well, glad we shared the Cinnamon Toast Crunch moment.
I'm never having Cinnamon Toast Crunch ever again. It is out. It is done. I'm questioning everything. I can't even look at my feet and picture a bare foot and a full shoed foot at the same time.
Oh, different experience, bud.
People would call the police on me. They'd go, someone is lost. Can you help him? What is wrong with you?
This is just like, I mean, you guys are like a married couple, right? Where you're like, we describe something that you bonded over, and then all of a sudden you're like, I can't believe I'm married to this guy. I can't do it. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how I move on from this.
Yeah,
So
I actually thought you make a good point, Josh, about most human beings I know, we take our shoes off when we go in the house now. It is amazing how long that, like, remember you used to hear that Japanese people did that? And you're like, what is their culture? And then you're like, yeah, it's really gross to drag in all the dirt from outside into your house. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you have like children and they're crawling on the floor. You're like, yeah, they're crawling in the dirt from wherever you were. Anyway, the point you brought up, and I think Trevor missed is, yeah, if you have your shoes out by the front door, like most people do, not everybody, but most people do, then you're always putting on your shoes at the same time. And my point is that as much as we all think everybody lives life the way we live life and pours cereal the same way, where you put the dry and then the wet on top of, the fact is that there's always a percentage of people that don't. I'll never forget, I get ready to watch the Super Bowl when I worked at ESPN, and Ryan Burr, who I think works for the Golf Channel now, and Burr was like, more people don't watch Super Bowl than watch Super Bowl. And I was like, that couldn't possibly be true. I don't know another human being outside of like one neighbor that doesn't watch Super Bowl. He's like, no, look, do the math. 350 million people in the United States, 150 million people watch Super Bowl, 200 million people don't watch Super Bowl. So the point is that, yeah, like we think of everyone experienced in life the way we experience life, and you didn't conceptualize the fact that the pouring the dry contents on top of the milk is really what it's like when you reload, right? You know, when you have that good cereal and you reload, and you're like, and so as much as Josh, you said, I would never do that. I would never put the milk in first and then pour the cereal on. I guarantee you've done it, but you've only done it on the reload. So
does he even know what the reload is? Let's find that out. Do you know what it means to reload?
Yeah, when you go in for the second bowl.
So you don't finish your milk from the first bowl. You reload.
Right. You're like, that cereal was
right,
so
but
amazing.
There's already milk in the bowl.
That's the point. Milk's first, and then the cereal goes on top of the milk.
Correct, but it's different when there's an empty bowl. When I'm looking at an empty bowl, it's kind of like when we go back to the buffet, right? Or the all you can eat, right? I'm not recreating a brand new plate. I'm not going to grab a new bowl. I'm already halfway through this battle with the cereal. At this point, it's just add more of each until I'm satisfied with and done, and put it all away. No. And who cares? Honestly, who even cares about cereal at this point?
You know what?
You are the weirdest shoe putter honor I've ever met.
You're triggered by my socks and shoes. Let's talk about Giannis. What could go wrong? So DG, the Giannis thing is a little dicey at the moment because the Bucks came out and said that we're going to know between now and the NBA draft whether Giannis is going to be a Buck or not. Recently, Shams Charania came out and said the Bucks are open for business with Giannis. And Jimmy Haslam made it seem like in the press conference where they introduced Taylor Jenkins that they weren't even sure if they were going to offer him the Supermax or not. How does this Giannis thing play out in your mind?
He plays somewhere else next year.
Yeah, but how do we get there? Is it that they offer him the Supermax and he says, nah, I'm going to move on? Or do they not even offer it and do they just announce a trade prior to the Supermax ever coming to it? And does Giannis just come out and say, yeah, they traded me. I never even got the option to stay.
I think all sides are coming. Because the problem with the Supermax is I don't think you're tradable, right? I don't think you can't sign and trade with. Can you sign and trade with the Supermax?
Not in the first year,
I don't think for the first year you can. Yeah.
So I don't really think that's an option. I think they end up working together on it. I think they've been working together on a resolution. I just think Giannis is so concerned with how he's going to be viewed in Milwaukee post departure, and the Bucks don't want to look like idiots, right? And have their greatest players since Lou Alcindor, you know, burn them publicly. My guess, guys, is that when this happens, it'll be a sort of a kumbaya. You did right by me. I did right by you. This was a great experience. We won an NBA championship. The question is more to me where he goes. You know, I'm fascinated by what happens with this LeBron thing. It's actually super interesting. Like the NBA offseason, I know it's like drama filled, but it's actually going to be really interesting because of Giannis, LeBron, and probably others on the move this summer. But to answer your question, I think that's how it goes down.
Doug Gottlieb, head coach, GB men's basketball, friend of the program, and on his way back to Green Bay for Luke Combs. And by the way,
yeah,
what do you got?
No, well, I was gonna tease a little bit. I know the Packers schedule comes out tomorrow, right? The big games are today, Packers. So next week we'll talk about our schedule, which is kind of working together here, and we do have a game in the Redneck Riviera. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Redneck Riviera down in Florida, and we're trending towards going to Hawaii this year. Yes, but there's a real thought process to it, and I'd actually, Josh and Trevor, I would like your opinion on it next week as to, do you think this is a good idea? Because there's a reason why you do everything that you do. I think that's intentionality. Try to do that every day, and in putting together the schedule, we're trying to do the same thing.
One sock, one shoe at a time. DG, happy Wednesday, buddy. We'll see you in GB. Hey, I'll buy you a Diet Sprite. Look me up on Friday night.
We didn't even get to that. Thanks, Doug.
Totally different story. Bye, Dougie. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Joshy.
Yeah?
The Nicolay Law talk and text line is currently saying that one person says I'm a psychopath.
Yep.
For the whole shoe thing. And another person says, I do exactly what Trevor does.
There was someone I'm trying right now to find here, Brian and Hudson. I used to also do sock shoe, but then I stopped drinking Diet Sprite.
Okay. When we come back, all the things. Of all of the stupid crap that's come out of my mouth on this show, the Diet Sprite is going to stick with me.
Oh, trust me. This week alone, people are putting together just a file on you. Saying, okay, so he eats dry rub wings. He hates the grill logo. Sock shoe. Jeez, what's going on with this guy?
Brad, be nice. Katie from Luxembourg, I am dying. Yeah, because your husband, Jeff, puts on 2 socks and then 2 shoes, and that's weird. I would be dying too.
No, that's not weird. That's normal. That's a normal way to process getting dressed.
Who are we processing life with next? Is it Rami Makloff from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff, or is John Kuhn joining us for a rebuttal to Doug Gottlieb? We're not sure, which means you need to stay tuned. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Listen, at the end of the day, this is all you need to worry about. This is what I learned wasting my time watching a movie on Friday night. This is free advice. LIVIN.
Just set that up.
That's all you need to know right there. You're welcome. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Hey, did you know that any youth sports player can score a free small classic Frosty anytime they visit Wendy's in their sports uniform? That's right. Just stop by after practice or with your team after a game. Who doesn't love a Frosty?
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I feel like I'm hosting a debate in the Senate in the musical Hamilton.
Oh, is that what that? I was looking at this more as like a Jerry Springer type thing. But yeah, okay.
Oh, there's that. Don't throw a chair. Joining us from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff, Mr. John Kuhn, who, if you missed it, brought up earlier in the show that in regard to loyalty in college, John's opinion was that there was no such thing as loyalty in college sports. It was all about control from the university side. We had Doug Gottlieb on, head coach, UW Green Bay, and he completely disagreed. John Kuhn, the floor is yours.
Well, I appreciate this, that I'm going to get approximately 3 minutes to opine my take here while Doug Gottlieb got 40 minutes to.
You got 3 hours after this.
Use your time.
Preach as the head coach of a college program right now that there was once loyalty, but there no longer is loyalty in college sports. And I find it incredibly rich coming from a guy whose excuse for the not or lack of loyalty right now is specifically based on taking a little bit more scrun, a little bit more money to go play somewhere else rather than stay somewhere, stick it out, and do the better good for the player. When he played in Division I, because I heard the knock on Division II, which, by the way, I got $750 a semester for a scholarship. So you want to talk about loyalty? I'm a guy who stayed 4.5 years at one university, not multiple universities like Doug. And yet he played at a time. He played at a time when the scrum was not put in front of you. So how would we ever know if loyalty even existed back in those days based off of his argument that taking a little bit more scrum makes you not loyal because they were never offered money? Had they been offered money at that time and the transfer portal was wacky and crazy the way it is right now, which, by the way, I do not like that. I think there needs to be regulations. But if it was that way, then when Doug played, we'd have seen the same thing.
Now the jury will decide. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Is there loyalty in college sports? Has there ever been loyalty in college sports?
And by the way, here, Trevor, yes, there. And this is the argument on two ends of the spectrum, but the truth falls in the middle, like it does everything in life. And there is absolutely loyalty in college sports, and then there's absolutely business moves made in college sports, then and now. So it's just by a different set of rules.
Milk then cereal, or cereal then milk?
Both.
Stupid. Why? When you reload, that is acceptable if you reload.
Sock shoe.
I didn't agree with. Well, first of all, both socks and both shoes. That is wacky.
Thank you.
but I will agree with Doug on one thing and one thing probably only, and it's a different cereal experience.
Okay. I guess I'll have to try it. I definitely am on board with the reload thing that he brought up, and I didn't realize that was cereal on top of milk until he brought it up, but I just don't think you can start that way. All right, I'm sure many more amazing things coming up from 9 to noon. Want to highlight one or two things quick?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to lead off with my favorite chant, Joey, oh, oh, Joey, oh, oh. Hey, the momentum's real, boys. You put a couple bats in the lineup, everybody starts feeling it.
Good to have him back, and good to have Yelly back, and good to have you back. Good to have Doug back. And good to have 9 to noon back on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Those studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Josh, safe travels, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy the cult classic, also known as the Roosevelt's Reunion.
Appreciate it.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. See you tomorrow.
Because we're not done yet.